Welcome to Phazon Labs, powered by World 1-1, and sponsored by Phazon Flakes, a radioactively delicious part of a mutagenically balanced breakfast. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this week is my trusty co-pilot, Isabel Bramman.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Yay! We're back. We're doing a thing. So, this week we're getting back to our regular shtick of elevator and fanfic pitch for a Metroid game, and this week I kind of want to take this a little different direction, because I don't have so much a story idea that I want to wrap around this as I do an upheaval of a standard mechanic of the 2D games. So I would love to see the 2D series branch a bit, and I know it's not happening with Dread. We've gotten glimpses at the map, but I would love to see them at least start to branch out, and maybe we will in future installments, where the map is maybe a little more akin to what we got in terms of build style in Other M, where it is a 3D map, but you were playing on a 2D plane, where, you know, it's kind of almost like wrapped around a big square with, you know, maybe tunnels and passageways cutting through the middle of it and back and forth, that gives it a little more interconnectivity on a 3D plane. But it's, again, it all plays on a 2D plane of existence. That I want this so bad, where you get just like a network of these, you know, the tunnels, and I want that bigger depth of a gameplay world for the series. And honestly, I can't think of much of anything in way of Metroidvanias as a whole that's really done that. Honestly, the closest comparisons I can come to would be, like I said, Other M, and maybe Fez, actually.
With the creativity with the map.
Yeah, just the way that it connects and hooks to each other from one room to the next. Because Fez had that to a degree, but you never really traveled those passageways from one area to the next. Because if you look at the map, you know, each area is kind of a node connected by a line, and you never travel that line. You're just one node to the next, and those lines just let them explode out the map so you can see, you know, which nodes connect to which. But I'd like something deeper than that has no pun intended this time, that has that kind of depth to it. And you know, like being able to run down, you know, a room, and maybe halfway through that room there's a door on the back wall, and you can 90-degree turn into that door, and then you're getting a side view of that corridor as it cuts across to the back side of the map, you know, coming from the front side and all the way zigzagging and crisscrossing throughout. I think would be way interesting in terms of pushing your brain to hold that map in your head and that structure. I want something that pushes my my capabilities more in that way.
Yeah,
so.
I'm wondering, like, would like a 2.5D perspective work for this map, do you think? Where like
Maybe.
there are areas that are like 2D, and then like areas that like push back and forward. It's kind of, I'm trying to visualize this, how, because actually what it's kind of silly, but what I'm thinking of is like the old like Doom style games where you would like go through the corridors, and I don't think that's quite right. So that's why I was thinking of like the 2.5D
Right.
as a little better the bridging of the two, because like Other M was a little more of like the 2.5D.
Kind of. And I'm not so my brain's not thinking or wanting so much, the 2.5D with the depth in the rooms as I want the depth in the map, where the rooms are essentially flat, side scroll viewpoints, but the map is not. So, you could be making and seeing a lot of 90 degree and 45 degree turns back and backwards and forwards as you're maybe hitting the corner of a map and the room wraps around the side of like imagine a big square pillar, and you're essentially carving out the map on the outsides and then connecting tunnels and rooms from one side of the pillar to the other through this column.
Yeah, I can kind of see it now. Like it would be like a blueprint, kind of.
Imagine, like an ant colony underground, not one of the flat ones where, it's all there's no forwards and back. It's all just, an X and a Y axis. But to have, when it's underground, they construct those colonies in both X, Y, and Z axis.
I see now. Actually, you know what I was thinking? Because my thinking for like what would be an interesting map mechanic, because it's actually taking from a Zelda game. Is Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, where
I actually haven't played those two. I feel terrible.
Well, they're very rough gems. But in those games, you can like write on the maps and like make notes and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that with this style of game, because like in Samus Returns and in Dread, it looks like you can put markers on the map, which is like a good step. But I want to be able to like, I want to be able to like make notes, like write stuff down. And I think that like if they ever go with this sort of like ant colony style map, then I would like them to be able to put some sort of writing system in there where you could put like text boxes and write notes like "Don't go here yet" or "Giant boss" or lava trap or something like that. Like I feel like that could be really interesting for different playthroughs. And as you get through, then your map could become like, it would be more of like creating like I feel like as if the map would be very not blank at first, but very undetailed, and then you would fill in the details of the map. And I feel like that would be a really interesting mechanic for a Metroid game as you go through it. So
all right, so I'm getting a story idea, a very loose one at this point, but hear me out. And real quick, I'm gonna sidetrack. I don't know if you saw this, but anybody listening to this will probably have an interest. So I want to shout out to and highlight Philip Summers and his Kickstarter at the moment that's going, Hand-Drawn Game Guides. If you guys have not seen this yet or you've missed it, go check this out because it's still running. You still have a chance to get your hands on this. This dude is doing 3, not 1, not 2, 3 hand-drawn NES game guides. There's a 2-in-1 actually that's Contra and Ninja Gaiden for the NES. He's done one for the original NES Legend of Zelda and a hand-drawn game guide for the NES Metroid. And they are awesome. And when I say hand-drawn, I mean this dude has literally like hand-sketched and drawn and colored all this. Yeah. It's cool as hell.
Yeah,
And I'm
I was
super
gonna.
pumped.
Yeah, I backed for the Metroid one.
So did I.
Yeah, I need that in my hands. So,
If you didn't see, when this Kickstarter went live, he had a goal of $20,000, right?
mhm.
Hit that goal in under 5 minutes, and in a matter of hours, hit every stretch goal that he had set, all the way up to 60 grand. It's now, I think, like over 120 grand backed.
Oh my gosh, that's
Absolutely
incredible.
insane.
Yeah, yeah. Props to
Like,
him and his
yeah,
team.
like they hit
Yeah.
that 60 grand in the first 30 minutes. It was
Mhm.
nuts.
Mhm.
So, but I figured I'd toss that out there. But
Mhm.
so, loose story idea. Given, like, this network of tunnels and the way this is all, my brain is going, this could be very insectoid focused,
Mhm.
and that this whole thing, that it's all driving towards a malevolent insect queen, and that's essentially using all of her, drones to try and stop Samus from getting to her and taking her out, and that this queen is trying to essentially expand its malevolent influence from the planet that it's on outward.
Mhm.
But and I've got a title in mind, but we'll get to that. But I think it would be really cool to maybe see some very insect influenced abilities and power ups.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, instead of space jump, if there's like some big cavernous rooms here
Mhm.
where some sort of like bee wings or insect wings
Yes.
for spanning, being able to maybe lay down some spider web of sort as a trap,
Mhm.
or as a oh hell, there we go. We could you could use that web spin as a stand-in for the ice beam, where
Mhm.
it would stick an enemy in place for a period of time.
Mhm.
Can you imagine the arm cannon mutating to look kind of like a thorax?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah. Actually, I'll throw you one better. Aren't the Kraken from Hunters insectoid?
Kinda, yeah.
I wonder
Ish.
if I wonder if we could intertwine our story in with them, because they're
Ooh.
they're like an empire building.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Samus in our story is given the order to finally take down this empire once and for all, but when she gets there, it's gonna be a lot harder than she expected because of this this underground facility that they're living in is practically unexplored, or only explored by the Kraken, and she has to basically create a map of it herself in order to be able to explore it. Huh.
That'd be a
I
cool
like
way
that.
to get back to the Kraken, actually. I'd get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, more Hunters representation.
definitely. And God, like the Kraken and Trace's story was one of the more interesting ones to me out of all the hunters in that game, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That little nugget of backstory, which honestly, those little backstory nuggets had so much potential for further exploration that they just never got, and that breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
The obvious speculation is that we're at least going to get some of that with Prime 4 with Silex.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, he was one of the least interesting of the bunch to me. I'm like, all right, he's got a beef with the Federation. I'm like, it's okay, but man, there's some really cool ones like Spire.
Mm-hmm.
Spire, I wanted to know way more about. I'm like, here's a dude that doesn't even know the rest of his own species. He's just kind of out there trying to find out what the hell happened. You know, that's a very, that almost feels like he's got kind of a kin relationship with Samus and the Chozo in that regard that I would love to see them do more with.
Yeah.
Not to mention Spire was such a cool character. You know, that was...
I love his design.
I do
love
too.
all
Not
their
the ability. His morph ball ability was great to see the that spike ball-esque thing play out in a 3D fashion like that. It was way fun to me. So, but no, Spire and Trace were my go-tos in Hunters, and I would love to see more of them. So
yeah. So if our story involves the Kraken and Samus creating her own map and that kind of thing, and the map is this completely unknown enigma trying to create this warren, trying to get through this giant maze like warren or whatever, and then at the very end she has to go up against the leader of the Kraken. Who do you think that would be? Do you think it would be like a bunch of them, or do you think it would just be one? Do you think it would be something completely different?
I don't know. But my brain just hit on an idea here. Is that, you know, what if this does take place on the Kraken homeworld? But the whole setup for this is that, you know, she picks up a distress call from the Kraken homeworld, from the Kraken Empire, that there is another species or empire coming up on their planet that's trying to overthrow them, and that's what we're going into, is like this species and this kind of oh damn it, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like the Covenant, people, where it's multiple species all working together.
Symbiosis?
Damn it. The word's gone from my brain. An alliance of sorts of, you know, these other various insectoid species that are all working together to build up their empire and try and overthrow the Kraken. And it's, you know, again, all these insectoid species. So you're getting things, you know, that kind of play with, bees and ants and spiders and all kinds of cool shit in there.
Yeah. No, I'm really liking this. Yeah.
But
and then at the very end, and then at the very end, like, there would be like a massive battle between the two, and Samus has to go in and just try to stop the fighting. I think that would be an interesting thing. Like, how would she go about it? Would she go about guns blazing? Would she try to take out the leaders stealthily? Would she try to... That would be an interesting way to look at Samus's character, I think. So,
right.
Yeah. I like that idea. So what's your title for this?
It just because it sounds good to my ear and it plays well on the tongue. Metroid Hivemind.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
Like, I like the idea of, you know, a Hivemind collective. That's the word I was looking for, a collective. You know, like a Hivemind collective all essentially working together to try and kill Samus in her tracks. So. Yeah.
Because if she has multiple empires going after her, that would be even more of an issue than just space pirates. So, because they would be sending all of their elite soldiers after her.
Right.
So that would be like, in very, very dynamic boss fights, I think, would be having like all these different empires and like armies and groups going after Samus. Yeah. No, I really like this. Yeah. And then like, yeah, building the map. The map would be the most important, I think, new element. Yes.
Props to you for bringing the Kraken in on this, because my head wasn't even there, but that's not a bad thought.
Yeah, I think that would be like the perfect like thread, I think.
Yeah.
From hunters, especially because they're like insectoid, and also because it's a like a I feel like as though they're a good fit because they're an empire, and
Right.
yeah. So I think it would be a good fit. Yes. So
Now, see, if we weren't going this route and we were doing something exclusively with the Kraken, title-wise, another one I think just has a boss-sounding name would just be Metroid Empire.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Empire's Ruin or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah. I like that too. So, but
well,
yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap this up. I hear a self-detonation timer beeping, so we should probably, make our timed escape here for the week and pick this back up again next week. So with all that said, I want to say thank you to everybody that took time to come and hang out with us this week and tune in and listen. And thank you to my faithful co-pilot, Isabel Bramman. Shout out to Isabel too, and all the hard work she did busting ass putting together the Metroid 35 zine, which you should totally go check out. And I will get links to in the show notes as well. Just awesome work. So very, very fucking cool.
Thank you. And there will be a print version soon. I am working on that as we speak. Well,
yes.
not right this very second, but I am getting that going. It is in the works. So
I'm excited.
Yes. So.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next mission. Say goodnight, everybody.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Peace.